Jury has been seated in the case of Sean Dunn. That's the man who admitted to throwing a sandwich at federal officers during President Trump's federal surge in D.C.
So the opening statements start tomorrow, and a grand jury previously refused to indict Dunn on felony assault charges. He's now facing a misdemeanor. Dunn has asked the judge to dismiss this case entirely. He calls it vindictive prosecution.
All right, so for some insight into how the jury was selected and what comes next, we are joined now by Dr. Leslie Ellis of the Kaiser Group. Dr. Ellis, thank you for being here with us tonight.
Sure, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so first up, we want to show you this moment right here. We know it became symbolic during this federal surge. Posters like this one appeared all up and down H Street not long after the sandwich throwing incident, as we're calling it. So do you think that kind of visibility right there affected the ability to seat an unbiased jury? You saw these everywhere. Made a statement.
I don't think so. We often see in high-profile cases that get a lot of press that it's not impossible to find people who can set it aside, still be fair, or frankly, who haven't even seen it at all. I think we're often surprised at the number of people in a jury pool who say they're not really aware of whatever it is the events are that are at issue.
Dr. Ellis, you may know more about this, but this certainly struck us as unusual. So our crew in court noticed this unusual step to protect privacy today, that this white noise was apparently pumped into the hallways to block the sound from the courtroom. Why might the court take that approach, and has this been done before?
Well, in the federal courthouse in D.C., they often use white noise machines when they are conducting individual voir dire of the jurors up at the bench. The way they do it in D.C. is the people fill out note cards saying they have an answer to a question, and then they get brought up to the bench one by one, and the white noise machine goes on to mask their answers to everybody in the courtroom. And then in really high-profile cases like this, and I believe it might have also been used in the Steve Bannon prosecution, the white noise can get sort of pumped further beyond so that anybody in the hallway might not be trying to listen into what's happening in the courtroom. It's just a way for the judge to sort of control what's getting out there.
That's fascinating. Yeah, learn something new every day. Trying to fall asleep listening to that white noise too, right, in court. All right, Dr. Ellis, so we've already seen the charge reduced now from a felony to a misdemeanor, and a grand jury declined to indict here. So what will this jury need to decide now to make the charge stick?
Well, from what I understand, they have to just, because it's a misdemeanor, there are different elements at play, and so they will have to decide whether Mr. Dunn assaulted a federal officer. There is some debate, from what I understand, in the instructions and some of the voir dire questions about exactly what language will be used in terms of what he's being charged with and what they'll have to prove. The instructions are pretty hotly debated, often are debated until the end of the trial, and certainly are here.
So Dunn has already admitted to throwing the sandwich. He said, "I did it." So why do we even need a jury in this case at all?
Well, that's a good question. To be honest, I don't know why. I guess federal misdemeanors are the prosecutors or a defendant is eligible to request a jury. And so if he's requested a jury, he has one. Now, one of the concerns that the prosecutors certainly have and that the defendants are trying to leverage is jury nullification. So even if the elements of a crime might all be met, the jury may still take into its own hands their own opinion that they don't think the prosecution is a fair prosecution, and the defendant certainly has been claiming that this is a politically motivated prosecution, as you mentioned earlier. And so they might be hoping that they'll find a jury who will nullify the charges and find the defendant not guilty, even if the prosecution can meet their burden to prove all of the elements of the charge.
All right, opening statements begin tomorrow.
One sandwich, one man can change a whole thing here.
And there's video.
And there's video.
All right, Dr. Leslie Ellis, from the Kaiser Group, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.